Tonight we return to legendary Lad People Stadium for a Thursday night 6A Region 1 matchup. History will be made tonight as Robertsdale and Murphy have never met each other on the gridiron, and both teams are seeking their first win of the year. Can the Bears come in, wreak havoc, and grab the win, or will the Panthers claw themselves to victory? We're about to find out. Good evening and welcome to the MCPSS High School Football Kickoff Show. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty. Corey, one thing is for certain tonight. One of these teams will get a win.
And that's the thing that you have to be excited about as a program, knowing that you've gone through 5 weeks of high school football and your coach has been preaching to you over and over again, if you do the right things, you will come away with the victory. And sometimes even though you don't win on the scoreboard, you win in practice, and this is the situation to transform that onto the playing field tonight.
And when you look at it, this is a ball game that definitely has to have a winner. This is a region contest. We can't have a tie tonight. Someone is going to have to get this win.
Well, the great thing about it is we have outstanding weather here, and our thoughts and prayers are with those who are in Florida. We had a deluge of rain a couple of months ago, but with that being said, you are correct, Al. We have to have a Region 1 winner tonight in 7A or 6A Region 1. And with that being said, we will have that offer come off the board for one of these teams.
We sure will. So, Corey, let's head into your checklist. Robertsdale is the visiting team. What can we expect out of the Bears tonight?
Well, for Robertsdale, it's very simple, Al. They have to limit explosive plays. And when we talked to Coach Stanford, he talked about 15 yards or more is what he considers an explosive play. Right. So you have to make sure that defensively that you're stepping up to the plate. Also, you have to bear it all at the line of scrimmage. And what do I mean by bearing it all at the line of scrimmage? You have to control and dominate both sides of the football at the line of scrimmage. And you have to make good on golden red zone opportunities. Of course, the Golden Bears have struggled in the red zone area, and that's going to be a point of emphasis. If they get down into the red zone area tonight, they have to cash in and make that golden. Murphy, on the other hand, Al, they have to establish early momentum, and that's one of the things that they've fallen behind in these contests through the first 5 weeks. So if they're able to go ahead and jump on the scoreboard first, it will do amazing things for their confidence here at homecoming.
Sure will.
They have to have great special teams play, and then when you start talking about picking up the Panther paycheck, Coach McKenzie has talked about the great things that have gone into work. Now it's time for the guys to go ahead and cash out and get paid on the scoreboard with the win.
You talked about the weather earlier. We know the hurricane down there in Florida did a little damage. So far, we are pretty much basically having a great night tonight. I can't say it's exactly fake fall like it was a couple weeks ago, but it's been feeling great. Let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in with Kimberly Dunn with the BSN weather forecast.
You said it right, Al. Down here on the field, it is a great night for football. Beautiful weather. You couldn't ask for better conditions. It's about 71 degrees at kickoff time with a slight wind out of the north at 13 miles per hour. So I think these players are going to be really happy tonight. We don't have any heat timeouts this game, so hopefully that won't be an issue because the weather is just perfect, so they shouldn't need them.
Thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate that. Corey, it does feel great on the field, man. I mean, it is feeling absolutely spectacular. We're here at Ladd tonight, and I don't think weather's going to have an impact. So as far as impact players, who's going to have an impact on this ball game?
Well, when you start talking about the Robertsdale Golden Bears, we'll be talking about the defensive end, Mecca Yost. Number 50, you'll definitely see him being a factor tonight for the Golden Bears. And athlete Glenn Williams, he's a senior. He'll be playing all over the field for Robertsdale, and he'll be number 2 on your program. So make sure that you keep an eye on number 2 for the Robertsdale Golden Bears. Also, your impact players for the Murphy Panthers. Jalen Edney, he was the Crichton Optimist Club Player of the Week due to 286 yards of special teams performances that he put on a week ago. So this young man is definitely dynamic from a return game standpoint and from a wide receiver standpoint. And, of course, their quarterback/cornerback, we see T.K. Barnett had an interception a few weeks ago against Theodore. He also played quarterback. We'll see him at the same position doing the same type of athleticism things tonight.
I didn't get to see him before the game. Does he have on the sparkling shoes tonight?
We'll see what his swag is tonight on a scale of 1 to 10 to see if he puts on. He did have the green shoes on, made him very visible a couple of weeks ago, so we'll see what he has tonight from a swag
Yeah,
standpoint.
you couldn't miss him when we had him against Theodore a couple of weeks ago down on the field. And speaking of ball games, we know we're giving you the special Thursday night edition. Well, it's some big ball games taking place tomorrow, Corey. Let's look at the schedule. That's a good battle right there in 7A Region 1 with Baker and Bryant. And Baker pretty much has picked up victories inside of region play. That's a huge ball game. And you know what? A year or two ago or 2 years, this would have been huge. Blunt and Saraland, but not this year. Not too much sizzle on that ball game.
Well, it's a pivotal 6A Region 1 matchup. So the Spartans, newly crowned #1 in the Alabama
Correct.
Sports Writers Association poll, will go ahead and take the #1 ranking against Blunt. So not taking any games for granted, and Coach Harris does a great job at Blunt High School. They lost a heartbreaker against Williamson last week.
And looking further to the schedule, 2 big ball games, really huge in 5A Region 1. Faith Academy and Viger. That ball game is taking place down in Theodore. Last year, that was Viger's only regular season loss to Faith Academy, and that was an out-of-region game. But this year, they're going to try to repay the favor. This is a 5A matchup tomorrow night.
It's so pivotal when you start talking about these region contests, and you and I have talked about it on the air, off of the air. This year, 5A Region 1 possibly being the toughest region in all classifications here in the state of Alabama. And Viger, your defending state champion, even though they have a new identity this year, they cannot afford to lose that game against Faith Academy.
And tomorrow, taking place here at Ladd Stadium, it is Gulf Shores and Williamson. This one is really huge because this is kind of a battle for second place. Gulf Shores has already lost to UMS Wright, and Williamson has one region loss as well. So whoever wins that ball game is probably going to be sitting in the #2 spot.
Again, controlling your own destiny. Antonio Coleman's done some great things for the Williamson Lion program, and hopefully that will continue against the Gulf Shores Dolphins.
And don't look past Spanish Fort and St. Paul's. That's going to be a good ball game as well. That's going to wrap it up for the pregame kickoff show. We're going to take a break and come back and give you the kickoff. It will be Robertsdale versus Murphy, a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At any given time, trauma can happen.
And how we deal with it.
And how we make peace with it.
Starts with me.
With Project Thrive, I'm taking a pledge.
I pledge to believe and support others experiencing trauma.
Will you join Project Thrive and its team of partners who are working together to address issues of trauma? Take the pledge, take a stand, and let's make Mobile a trauma-informed community.
The Environmental Studies Center is a natural sciences education facility designed to provide unique learning experiences. In addition, wildlife rehabilitation plays a vital role each day at the center. Featuring more than 500 acres of rich woodlands, the center affords teachers, students, and the general public an opportunity to experience firsthand the natural environment. Environmental Studies Center. It starts with us in the Mobile County Public Schools.
We welcome you to a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, where 2 teams are in search of their first win. Robertsdale and Murphy are meeting on the gridiron for the first time. And to add a little sizzle to the mix, it's homecoming night for the Panthers, so you know they want to snag a victory. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Al Whedon, joined by Corey LeBounty. Covering the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn. Corey, 6A Region 1. Both of these teams are winless. But you know what? The pride is still on the line for both of these schools.
You know, when you come and compete on a Thursday or a Friday night, I guarantee in tonight's contest, you won't be able to tell that both of these teams are winless. You'll just find 2 teams that are hungry for a victory, that want to execute. And again, like I mentioned in the pregame, they want to cash in on all the hard work that they put in so far.
Murphy won the toss, and they declined until the second half, so we'll get to see the Robertsdale offense take this field. And you talked about the impact player, Glenn Williams. See what kind of impact he's going to start off. The players went out on the field, but it looks as if the referees have sent them to the sideline, so that's not a problem. That gives us an opportunity to kind of set up the ball game even more as you look at these two clubs. Murphy lost to Gulf Shores last week 35-14, and Robertsdale lost to Bryant last week 41-20. But for both of them, they can kind of get things going in the first half, but they can't hold on till the end.
And when you talk about the Robertsdale Golden Bears, they have been outscored 56-7 in the first quarter of play. So it's very imperative on the flip side of that. If you're the Murphy Panthers, you continue to add to that deficit in the first quarter for Robertsdale. If you are Robertsdale, you want to make sure that you don't hurt yourselves with penalties down and distance, get behind the chains early, and really create a problem for offensive coordinator Kelly Gilliam, because this team, Robertsdale, comes in averaging 10.2 points per game, but they give up 41 points per game. So that's something to keep an eye on tonight.
Murphy hasn't lost 5 straight games since 2001, and the last time they lost 6 in a row, Corey, was back in 1992. So the Panthers definitely looking to get a win tonight. It's homecoming, nothing like winning on homecoming.
Yeah, I mean, you have that traditional battle between Murphy and McGill where they paint the cannon, and sometimes that was their homecoming game, and when it's not, you do have a wonderful crowd supporting these student athletes and the student body tonight for homecoming at Murphy High School 2022 style.
Back to receive at the 10-yard line set up is Glenn Williams, also back there Ashton McManus. Enoch Iracozy set to kick us off here on the special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, and we are underway. Iracozy's kick is taken at about the 8-yard line and fumbled immediately out of the hands of the Robertsdale player into Murphy. Aiden O'Brien had it, and it just popped right out, Corey. So an instant special teams turnover. Here's a look at the replay.
And Toda Leather, a great kick, keeping it in bounds. There was indecisiveness as who was going to pick it up, and it just pops right out. I mean, he didn't secure it tight, high and tight to his body, and because of it, we have our first turnover. And you look at Murphy almost in the red zone area, one of those turnovers that I know that Robertsdale wanted to stay away from early.
So we'll flip the script and get ready to talk about the Murphy offense here. Led by quarterback T.K. Barnett, a very athletic player, dynamic player that they have. Pass out to Etney as he picks up a couple, maybe 8 or 9, so a good play. There's a look at the Murphy offense, led by T.K. Barnett. He's the most dynamic athlete on the team. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, ran for 1, caught 2 if he's not running. Look for him to pass to Etney like he just did. Etney averages 18 yards a game. When they run it, Kentrell Wheeler is probably going to get the ball up front. The Panthers are big and experienced. Making holes will be seniors left guard Christian Boyd and right guard Malachi Howard. Murphy averages a whopping 301 pounds across the offensive line as they try to block for Barnett, but it breaks down as he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage for about a 2-yard loss.
Great job of penetration by this Robertsdale defense. Trevor Pugh, the 6'6", 265-pound junior, in early and getting great penetration as that play took too long to develop, and it resulted in a loss of yardage, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4 to go.
Panthers trying to steal a possession here with the fumble recovery off of the kickoff. Line to gain is the 14. Etney does a little hiccup as he comes across for the jet sweep. The play breaks down once again, and Robertsdale slams them out of bounds. Looks like no gain on the play. It'll be 4th down coming up for the Panthers.
Connor Timms, the 6', 185-pound senior linebacker, does a great job of containment. Even though the ball hits the ground, sometimes you can get positive yardage out of a busted play. Not anything like that against this Robertsdale Golden Bears defense, who really has bowed up here after that early turnover.
So 4th down and 4, the ball sitting on the 18-yard line. Coach McKenzie wants to go for it here, doesn't want to bring out the kicking unit. Ira Cozy's only attempted 1 field goal this year so far. Bobble snap. It looks like the pigskin is a bit slippery tonight, Corey. I don't think Barnett's going to have enough for the first down.
And he is not. And you look at New Siler, Ryan, that is, the 5'10", 175-pound senior, able to tackle TK Barnett, and it's a turnover on down. So you had 1 fumble that led to no points, and then you have the turnover on downs, but that's a huge stop because essentially the Robertsdale Golden Bears get it just maybe 10 yards deeper than where they were and fumbled the initial kickoff.
You're correct about that. Quarterback center exchange from Murphy, not very fluid on their first possession. Little play action, they get it out to Glenn Williams. Williams picks up the first down just past the 36. Take a look at the Robertsdale offense led by quarterback Henry Harverson. He's a 41% passer. He'll be trying to get the ball to Williams like he just did. Now we have him listed as a wide receiver, but he leads the Bears in rushing. Also averages 9 yards a catch. As you just saw, they picked up the first down. Running for them will be junior Aiden Valerie. He has a 4.25 rushing average. And up the middle they go with the run. As they hand it off to Valerie, it's going to be second down and about 6 to go.
Valerie, the 5'9", 170-pound junior on the tote, has his 49th rush of the season, but it's positive yardage early and down in distance for the Golden Bears.
Bears playing tempo here. They fake it to Valerie, throw it to Williams. He catches it, kind of falls down on his bottom there at about the 37-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short coming up for the Bears.
And Williams, again, one of those versatile athletes at 5'10", 160 pounds. When you go quick tempo, you have to know where he is on the field at all times if you're the Murphy Panthers here. A huge 3rd down and money down is what we're going to call this tonight's game.
Stoppage and play, a flag on the play. Offsides against Murphy, so that'll give the Golden Bears the first down. Take a look at our officials led by white hat Gary Malden, Scott Seeley, Scott Wynn, Anthony Rabb, Tyler Bulow, Ray Shelley, and George Washam tonight. Pass incomplete, intended for Valerie, just past the 45-yard line. Take a look at that Murphy defense. The Panthers play a 4-3 with 6'2", 269-pound defensive end Matthew Starworth rushing from the edge. Bandit linebacker Andre Woodard is the Panthers' leading tackler. He's going to fly around the field a lot tonight. Will linebacker Desmond Mitchell, he's 3rd on the team in tackles as well. And in the secondary, look for free safety Brandon Bendoff to have a serious impact. Murphy averages 243 pounds across their defensive line, and that defensive line just blown by Aiden Valerie. He's on the way to the house. That is a touchdown, but looking for flags on the field. And they may have stepped out, Corey.
And if he did step out, that's huge. But I think that, again, when you start talking about a 57-yard burst, that is huge when you start talking about momentum early for the Robertsdale Golden Bears, and that is a tremendous job of breaking into the secondary and breaking containment to the outside. Murphy didn't do a good job of making sure they sealed that edge, and as soon as he turned the corner, it was off to the races for Aiden Valerie.
No flags on that play, but a flag right here before the extra point.
Substitution infraction on the defense.
As Jason Butts lines up to kick the PAT, he is 4 for 5 on the season in extra points. Beautiful run by Valerie, as you described it, Corey. I looked and scanned to make sure, but no flags were on the field.
And the biggest thing is he only had 107 yards total on the season, but that will definitely add to it with that nice run.
Butts' kick is up and no good. So Robertsdale on top, 6-0 early here in the contest. You're watching MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
You've got questions? We got answers. MCPSS.com. Whether it's attendance zones, school calendar, lunch menus, or registration information that you are looking for, you can find it right here, MCPSS.com. You can also get the latest news and district-wide calendar information, and it's just a click away. So when you need to know, and you need to know right now, check us out, MCPSS.com.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today and leading tomorrow. Right now, Robertsdale leading 6-0. Corey, we've had an interesting ball game. Robertsdale kind of gave it up with the fumble on the kickoff return. Murphy couldn't capitalize, and the Bears come back and just pop them in the mouth with that 57-yard run from Valerie. Butts kicks goes out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Let's see if Coach McKinney is going to take the yardage or make them kick it again.
One of the things that Robertsdale needed to do was to make sure that they buried it all at the line of scrimmage. And on that run, they got a hat on the hat and did a great job. And the afterburners that were kicked in by Valerie, the extra point may come back to haunt them later on in this contest. But we'll see right here, because if you're smart, Robertsdale, you definitely don't want to kick to a young man who absolutely has burners for the Murphy Panthers and Jalen Edney, number 11. If he gets this ball and his special teams do a great job, he can take one, as he took one 98 yards last week against Gulf Shores, has the ability to do that, Al.
They're definitely kicking away. Murphy's going to get some great field position with that ball being picked up near about the 42-yard line. With the grab, good hands right there by Brandon Bendoff on the special teams unit. So they're going to mark it at the 44. Very good field position here for the Panthers. I guess special teams coordinator Jeff Pippin, who used to be up at Citronelle, says we're not going to kick to him at all. We're just going to kick it away from him.
I know I wouldn't kick to him, and we'll see if offensive coordinator Cedric Smith can go ahead on this second offensive possession, get any type of rhythm offensively by TK Barnett and his center, Zyquez James.
On the run, Kentrell Wheeler takes it past the midfield stripe into Robertsdale territory. Great run by Wheeler. Here's a look at the defense for Robertsdale. They play a 3-4. Defensive end Mecca Yost. He's leading a front that averages 268 pounds. Connor Timms played safety last year but found a home at outside backer. And next to him, inside backer, Ryan Newsealer. He'll be making tackles as well. You talked about him during Murphy's first possession. Carry by Wheeler once again picks up about 4, so second and about 6 coming up for the Panthers.
Back-to-back runs by Wheeler, the 5'3", 143-pound senior. Picked up a great chunk of yardage there on that first carry, and you go right back to him, as now you are definitely ahead of down and distance, second down and 6 yards to go for Murphy.
They're going to keep it on the ground. Back to Wheeler once again. That's a carry of about 3 or 4, so third and short coming up here for the Panthers.
Mecca Yost, one of the impact players, 5'10", 250-pound senior, makes his 18th tackle on the season. And Al, when you start talking about the line of scrimmage here on Money Down for both of these teams, it's going to be imperative that Murphy keeps this drive alive, and for momentum purposes, Robertsdale finds a way to come up with another defensive stop.
3rd and 3 here for the Panthers. They fake it to Wheeler. TK Barnett going to keep it, going to the corner, and that is a 31-yard score for TK Barnett, and the Panthers answer back.
And when you start looking at that being the second rushing touchdown for TK Barnett, 5 5'10", 175-pound senior. Shows you why he is an impact player and a difference maker. As soon as he gets a clean snap and beyond the line of scrimmage, you're not going to tackle this young man up high. You have to tackle him down low, and because Robertsdale tried to tackle high and didn't wrap up, TK was able to make a house call.
Ira Cozy on for the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. Murphy takes the lead 7-6. So as Corey LeBounty said a little while ago, we'll see if that extra point comes back to haunt the Bears later on.
And that's the type of offensive rhythm that offensive coordinator Cedric Smith wanted when they had it done in the red zone area before the turnover on downs.
Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn on the sidelines.
Before the game, I was able to ask them some things that they feel like they needed to do to get the win tonight. Both teams mentioned that they needed to play with discipline, eliminate penalties, and eliminate explosive plays. So far in this game, we have seen 2 turnovers, 1 unintentional and the other turnover on downs. And then we have also seen explosive plays from both teams. So the 2 things that they were trying to avoid, we have already seen in this game, and it's shaping up to be an interesting game with both teams hoping to come out with the win.
Thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate that. Coach Stanford said that, they've got to eliminate the big play of letting Barnett throw past them, and he said, we're okay if we let him run. You don't want to let him do that all night on you.
No, you have to be able to tackle, and that's one of the things in my checklist. Limit explosive plays. 15 yards or more is considered explosive by their head coach, and that definitely puts 6 on the board.
Williams takes it at about the 7-yard line, comes up the middle. Ira Cozy, one got to beat an Etney, and Etney forces him out of bounds at the 28-yard line. That's the dynamic explosiveness of Glenn Williams on display right there.
We talked about Glenn Williams having over 445 return yards so far on the season. Kickoff return yards alone, he catches that one deep in his own territory, eyes and sizes up his blockers, and you see that burst. When he plants that foot and goes north and south, he just runs out of real estate, and it's a good speed on speed as Etney, the special team specialist for the Panthers, chases him out of bounds.
Very smart to force him, because when he got past the kicker, it was pretty much Etney or taking it to the house. Up the middle goes Aiden Valerie. He's already scored tonight one time, and he has enough for the first down as he is forced out of bounds at about the 16-yard line of Murphy. Bears back in the red zone once again.
Again, golden opportunities in the red zone for the Golden Bears. This is where they have to go ahead and make sure they capitalize, and where they've struggled so far. We'll see if Murphy can go ahead and D up in the red zone area.
Flags on the play as it is whistled dead.
Start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Here's a look at that scoring drive by Murphy. Took off 2 minutes and 6 seconds. 61-yard, 4 plays, capped off by the 31-yard run by TK Barnett. That was pretty much half of the drive right there for the Panthers, 31 yards.
But just great execution offensively of what you needed to do, and a great job of TK Barnett reading what the defense was able to give him, and he took the rest.
False start by Robertsdale, pushes the back 5 yards. Valerie tries to go up the middle to get the 5 back. I think he may have picked up 4. We'll call it 2nd and 11 here for the Golden Bears.
Winston Salter, the 5'10", 190-pound senior, on the stop from his linebacker position for the Murphy Panthers. And when you start looking at playing behind the sticks at 2nd down and 15 yards to go, now you don't want to force anything like a turnover or a bad throw. Correct. Here if you're Robertsdale.
Lads calling it 2nd and 13. Harvison's pass, trying to get it out to Valerie, and it is interrupted by those Murphy Panthers defensive backs.
Brian Jackson would be that defensive back, the 5'6", 150-pound sophomore. Has 15 solo tackles on the season with 1 interception. And now just like that, you're looking at 3rd down and 15 yards to go now for the Golden Bears.
Ball sitting just outside the red zone at the 21. Empty set, setting up the screen. Williams drops the ball. He had some blockers, Corey. It's 4th down coming up here for Robertsdale.
And when you were knocking at the red zone area, we talked about getting behind the sticks early with that penalty. And now that's something that Robertsdale's definitely going to go on here on 4th down. This is the second opportunity, once for Murphy, once for Robertsdale. We'll see if the Panthers can come away with the huge stop.
Robertsdale is 9 for 16 on 4th downs this season. Play clock under 10. Harvison taking his time. Looks like they're trying to draw him off, Corey, and I think Coach Stanford's going to burn the timeout, and I believe that was the case right there. As far as field goals, I think they will go for it. Jason Butts is 1 for 1 on the season, and that's only a 30-yarder, so they're out of his range pretty much.
Well, if you go ahead and try to kick this, you're going to risk an opportunity for it to be blocked at the line of scrimmage, which will lead to a special teams nightmare in regards to a scoop and score opportunity. So, again, you would be better off here trying to force some type of pass interference against Murphy or find a way to get a late hit or a personal foul to pick up that automatic first down. But Robertsdale here was knocking at the red zone, and again, don't want to blow a golden opportunity to put points on the board.
Robertsdale head coach Kyle Stanford is in his 4th season. His record is 8-26. His overall win percentage sitting at .235, and he told me this week he wouldn't be surprised if Robertsdale was bumped up to a 7A school in the next classification. They were about 6 or 7 kids away from moving up this year. He said they are putting up subdivisions all around the area in Robertsdale. It is unreal. So they're one of the larger 6A schools in the state. Harvison's going to keep it. Just kind of runs over to the 25-yard line. Looked like that play just kind of broke down, Corey.
And you have to find a way to just throw that one away or give your receiver an opportunity to fight for it, because it's not like that's 1st or 2nd down. You at least want to go ahead, and I would rather throw the interception there than to take that type of sack there. But a huge stop for the Murphy Panther defense and defensive coordinator Michael Perry.
Coming out of a timeout to run that's a head scratcher right there. So it's 1st and 25. 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Panthers. 4:39 remaining here in the first quarter. Al Whedon, Corley Bounty on the sidelines, Kimberly Dunn. Statisticians Matt Moore and China Powell on hand for this Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. And no one there for Barnett to hand it off to. So what'd you do, Corey? You just run it, and you pick up about 7 or 8, maybe 9 yards.
As long as you get a hat on a hat, you're able to do that. Todrick Thompson, the 5'8", 175-pound freshman, makes his 7th tackle on a busted play, but nonetheless 9 yards of gained offense for the Murphy Panthers.
Now, we did see Murphy run different formations a couple weeks ago when they played against Theodore. Fake it to Wheeler. Up the middle goes TK Barnett, and he is off to the races once again. One man to beat for Robertsdale. Can they get him out? And it looks like he's going to be down at about the 2 or the 3. The dynamic athleticism of TK Barnett on display again.
And when we see this offensive line do a great job, you see 50 James open up that hole. 15 is wide receiver Benjamin Jackson blocking down the field. Gets down, it's almost a 60-plus yard run by the Murphy Panthers. Now they have flipped the field, and they are trying to score their 2nd touchdown. But that is all TK Barnett, along with his offensive line, do a tremendous job blocking and opening holes for him.
Touchdown saving tackle by Brayton Douglas as he came in and pushed Barnett out at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for the Panthers. Little jump pass, the old Tim Tebow jump pass, incomplete as they tried to get it to David Green. Good play call right there, kind of catch the Bears off guard.
I tell you what, Robert Hendricks, the 5'9", 159-pound junior, almost had an interception. You look at this, TK probably could have run it in, but look, just barely tipped away at the last moment by Robertsdale. 2nd down and goal to go now for the Panthers. And with this huge offensive line, even though they're in the shotgun formation now, a heavy running dose is just what they ordered right here. And they're going to go under center.
Barnett under center, power I formation. as they hand it off to Winston Salters, and Salters scores 1-yard run for the Panthers as they extend the lead.
The 5'9", 190-pound senior fullback is able to get behind Jalen Drakeford, Christian Boyd, Zykees James, Malachi Howard, and Muhammad making that push. And again, Murphy is able to capitalize in the red zone.
Remember, Corey, that's 301 pounds of average beef on that Panthers line. So they got a lot of beef to run behind.
Where's the beef? It's right there on the Panthers offensive line. And that was a great 4-play, 75-yard drive with not a lot of time elapsed right there. But again, another 6 points for the Panthers.
Ira Cozy's extra point, no good. 13-6. Murphy on top. We'll be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
Got to thank Firehouse Subs, where you can enjoy more subs and save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friends Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Sub location. We do appreciate them for all that they are doing. Murphy on top, 13-6 right now. Homecoming night for the Panthers. We have whistles here on the play, on the kickoff. I believe we may have a flag, trying to see where the official.
Start has to be when you throw it that early in a pre-snap or pre-kick situation.
Right. Gary Malden hasn't come up yet to signal that, but they're walking it off like that is a false start. So that'll push the Panthers back 5. Ira Cozy will tee it up once again. There's a shot at John McKenzie. Took the Vigo Wolves to the 4A state title last year and brought that championship trophy home back to the Mobile area.
And he has his family watching in Miami, Florida, so we always love to give a shout out to his family and friends who continue to watch us here on MCPSS Television Network.
Ira Cozy gets that one, taken by Valerie as he cuts back toward the near side, coming toward the Panthers bench, brought down at about the 34-yard line. Got to thank BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com.
Now, Al, this is going to be a critical possession for the Robertsdale Golden Bears because they had all the momentum with that first strike. And now you're in a situation to where if your offensive coordinator, Kenny Gillum, for the Robertsdale Golden Bears, you're just asking your team to settle down. You get it into your playmakers, Glenn Williams' hands or Aiden Valerie. And again, you put it in your offensive line's hands to put a hat on the hat and control that Golden Bear line of scrimmage.
And off to Valerie once again. He's collapsed upon by the Panthers as they tackle him at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Takes Robertsdale to second down.
Desmond Mitchell, 5'9", 185-pound Will linebacker, makes an outstanding tackle that's going to go ahead and negate, make it 2nd and 10, any gain in a positive nature there. And you really have to start early down in distance, create positive yardage if you're Robertsdale.
They had a great drive on the last series, but that series stopped around the 21-yard line of Murphy. And that play stopped right there by the Panthers. Valerie brought down for no gain, maybe a loss of about 4 on that one. Going to push him back to about the 31-yard line.
And when you're able to get that type of penetration, that just goes to show momentum is favoring this Murphy Panther squad. But Robertsdale now behind the sticks at 3rd down and close to 13 yards to go.
Williams lined up at the bottom in the slot here. as Harvison looks to the sideline to get the call. Play clock under 10. They're going to have to burn the timeout or take a delay of game, one of the two. And the Bears have to burn another timeout. Looks like there was some miscommunication on what play they would run.
Well, you would rather burn a timeout than to put yourself at third down and 18 yards to go, because you want to go ahead and get it out of neutral and put it in drive. If you're the Golden Bears, you want to claw your way literally back into this contest, as Murphy has scored 13 unanswered after Robertsdale opens it with a tremendous run by Aiden Valerie.
Sure did.
And when you start looking at that type of confidence by Robertsdale early, it's just what the doctor ordered for the Golden Bear program. And you put it on Murphy sputtering down and not being able to take advantage of the opening kickoff turnover. On the flip side of that, Murphy was able to bounce back and put that turnover behind them.
Sure did. They put up
now,
2 scores.
Exactly, Al. And because of that now, Murphy's defense is playing with renewed confidence.
Sure is. Robertsdale comes in tonight dressing out around 75 players. They return 4 on offense, 5 on defense, and they have 17 seniors on the squad. We'll set it up 3rd and 13. Trip receivers to the top. Harvison's pass across the middle is complete at the 45-yard line. Brennan Paramore, the tight end, is going to move the chains. First down for the Golden Bears.
Well, that's what you have to have. You have to have renewed sense of confidence by your quarterback and his wide receivers in order to pick that up. And fresh set of downs and more time coming off the clock is exactly what Robertsdale needed.
Handoff to Valerie. The guards pull around. He picks up about 5 or 6, tackled by T.K. Barnett near the midfield stripe. I say maybe about the 49-yard line.
When you start getting to that second level, that's when you know that Robertsdale offensive line and wide receivers are doing a tremendous job of blocking down the field. Now, that's the type of offensive momentum that they need to continue to maintain. Again, 4 yards on first down is a great way to start a drive.
2nd and 6 here for the Bears. Back to Valerie they go. He picks up about 2. We'll call it 3rd and 4 coming up here as they cross the midfield stripe directly in front of us atop the press box at Lad People Stadium.
Santrez Calhoun, number 44 in Navy, doing a great job on the stop. And now you only gave up 1 yard in that situation. It's going to bring up a long 3rd down and 4 yards to go with the ball being spotted right at the Panther 49.
Ladd is calling it 3rd and 5. I think it is more so 3rd and 4, Corey. They give it back to Valerie once again. He's picking his hole, breaks it outside, crosses the 45.
With a fumble.
Fumble, but Paramore, Johnny on the spot, tight end, Brennan Paramore jumps on top of it, and that will move the sticks for the Bears.
Glenn Williams on the carry. He's a dynamic athlete. You look at him coming from his wide receiver spot with it again. He's a little jitterbug and a great defensive strip. But it did not fall in the Panthers' hands. They weren't able to pounce on it, and Robertsdale picks up the first down the hard way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Corey. I got to clean out my binoculars. Thought the 2 was a 6, but Valerie's back there now. Harvison has time. A little too much time as it breaks down, the pocket breaks down, and he is sacked for a loss back around the 48-yard line of Robertsdale.
Matthew Stallworth, 6'2", 269-pound junior with his first sack of the season for this Panther defense, and it's now going to bring up 2nd down and a little over 21 yards to go now.
Bears going backwards, and we are out of time in the first quarter has expired, but we have a good one. 13-6 Murphy on top for this special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Motivated, reliable, and an independent learner? If so, then the MCPSS Academy of Virtual Learning may be an option for them. The Academy of Virtual Learning allows students in grades K through 12 the opportunity to work in self-paced courses at the time of day that fits their schedule, so they can earn their high school diploma by studying whenever they want, wherever they want. To learn more, call 251-221-6700 or visit MCPSSVirtualLearning.com. We learned a lot in the first quarter, Corey.
Yeah, we learned that Robertsdale does have offensive firepower, and we know that Murphy can respond to that offensive firepower.
Second and long here for the Bears. Attempted to Glenn Williams, and he drops it, so it's going to be third and long coming up for Robertsdale.
And you look what that sack does for your team, but if you're the quarterback, Henry Harbison, what you want to make sure of here is that you don't put your team in a bad situation with the turnover. You would allow your punter here, Andrew McDaniel, to go ahead and punt this football away if you're not able to come away with the 18 needed yards for the first down.
Speaking of punting, Corey, we had no punts in the first quarter. Both teams went for it twice on fourth down. So we have yet to see a punt tonight. Williams goes into motion. Harbison's pass is tipped, almost brought in by Paramore. He was only 2 or 3 yards from the line of scrimmage, but he would have been short. So it's fourth down coming up for the Bears, and we talked it up. I believe we're going to see our first punt of the evening.
And that's exactly, if you're the Murphy Panthers defense, what you want. The first quarter statistics, Murphy with 132 rushing yards, but not too shabby for Robertsdale with 72 yards. You look at the total yardage, 141 for Murphy, 104 for Robertsdale. That one turnover by Robertsdale was the difference maker so far.
Robertsdale going to down this ball. Great punt right there by Andrew McDaniel. He averages 31.1 yards a punt. 31.3 yards a punt. And he has put 2 in the 20. Well, actually, that's now 3 inside of the 20 this season for the young man. So Murphy's going to start this right about the 10-yard line. So great punt right there by McDaniel.
Well, we mentioned Murphy's offense comes in averaging 20 points per game and are already on the scoreboard with 13. And here it is now. The Robertsdale Golden Bears have pinned the Panthers deep in their own territory, have an opportunity to get the defense off of the field and pick up tremendous field position, but you can't allow Murphy to march the field right here and go 90 yards for a scoring drive.
And we've seen some big running tonight from T.K. Barnett. Hand off to Kentrell Wheeler. He's done a pretty fair job as well. As you saw those rushing stat totals from the first quarter that the Panthers put up, Wheeler picks up about 2 or 3. Second down coming up here for the Panthers.
Well, what you have to do, again, is just gain positive yardage and stay ahead of the sticks down and distance-wise when you're deep in your own territory. You can't afford to have any type of holding penalties or anything that negates a big-time explosive play for Murphy.
Hand off to Wheeler once again. Panthers just playing it safe. And Wheeler gives them some breathing room as he takes it up to about the 27, maybe 28-yard line. First down, and the sticks move for the Murphy Panthers.
Great job by the wide receiver and offensive line. Once he clears and gets into that second and third level, a good job of Cole Bolton from behind, the 6'2", 185-pound senior, stopping close to a 85-yard run to the house.
First to 10, ball at the 27-yard line. Back to Wheeler they go once again as he hits the A-gap and pushes it forward up near the 35. I believe they'll spot him at the 34-yard line. Good run by Kentrell Wheeler.
Well, it's a hard run downhill, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the Panthers control the line of scrimmage, and that's what you see, a hat on a hat. And you look at his fullback, Winston Salter III, with a tremendous block,
Great block
out in front, and that's what you pay your fullbacks to do. That's how you cash those paychecks that Coach McKenzie was talking about that ultimately led to a victory at the end of the game.
Wheeler picked up 6. They're going to go back to him. Kind of runs into one of his own blockers right there. Maybe a 2-yard gain. He averages 6.68 yards per rush, doing a pretty decent job tonight. 3rd and short coming up. The Panthers still in front of the sticks, needing just about 2 yards to get a first down.
Camden Johnson on the stop for Robertsdale. And he's coming from his defensive end position, the 6'1", 210-pound senior. But another 3rd down opportunity here in the contest. A lot of what we've seen here in the first half, 3rd and 4th down opportunities.
Ball sitting at the 36. They need to get just inside of the 37 to pick it up. Wheeler met at the line, but I believe it'll be enough. And we have some laundry on the field on the far side near the Robertsdale sideline.
And I don't know if we didn't have a great alignment by Murphy.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Kind of, sort of, basically. So that's going to push the Panthers back 5 yards, make it 3rd and 7.
What you start talking about is a covered up wide receiver, and when you see that far judge throw that flag, that's normally what you have, and because of it, you go from 3rd and 2 now to 3rd and 7. It does give TK Barnett more room to operate.
Correct.
But we'll see what Cedric Smith, the offensive coordinator, is able to dial up here on 3rd down and 7.
Etney goes into motion. And they kind of set up a screen. Wheeler has no one in front of him. Kind of runs into Malachi Howard as Howard's trying to help him out, but that gets him nowhere. So almost back to the original line of scrimmage, Corey. It's 4th down for Murphy.
Well, anytime you have 325 pounds of beef trying to help you along, that's always going to go in your favor because you're definitely not going to fall backwards when you have that type of offensive line beef pushing you forward. But the punt by the Murphy Panthers starting on their own 10, the play just really never developed. It was a slow screen, but when you don't get the correct blocking down the field, it tends to blow up on you.
Yeah, that one did blow up. Enoch Irakosi on for his first punt of the evening. But before we do that, Coach John McKenzie wants to discuss some things. He takes a timeout at 7:49 remaining here in the first half.
A great timeout to make sure that you do have a great snap and a great kick, because I don't think Coach McKenzie is going to roll the dice here with any type of fake, especially with the scoreboard reading 13-6 in favor of the Panthers.
Panthers dressing out about 70 players tonight. They have 18 seniors on the squad. They return 4 on offense and 2 on defense. As we told you at the top of the broadcast, it's homecoming night here for the Panthers, so that means we get to see the cheerleaders in the old throwback uniforms tonight, Corey. And tonight's a good night to have some long sleeves if you're the cheerleaders. It's a bit chilly out tonight.
Well, it's definitely been blustery and breezy the last couple of days and in the morning time, but when you start talking about what you're going to come up with right here, it's going to be huge for Murphy to have a clean punt to the Golden Bears. And deep for the Golden Bears is a speedster, so we'll see if they're able to get any positive yards on return.
Irakosi's punt hits at about the 47 of Robertsdale and has a little backspin. You don't want it right there. They're going to spot it at about the 47-yard line of Murphy. So that may be about an almost 18-yard net gain on the punt. Robertsdale has good field position on this side of the 50, Corey.
And that's huge when you start talking about field territory. Now, you were able to pin Murphy deep at the 10-yard line, and Murphy was not able to capitalize. And now when you talk about flipping the field, I think right here Aiden Vowry along with Glenn Williams have to find a way to go ahead and give that extra boost and burst to this offensive squad for the Golden Bears.
Robertsdale trying to get back on track as the 7:45 train passes by here in Maysville. Pass incomplete going to Williams. Harvison laid out there, no flags for roughing the quarterback. Second down.
See if we're able to look at this replay. The type of pressure that was presented up front by the Murphy Panthers defense was huge, as Henry Harvison was not able to step into that throw and throw it to the outside shoulder. He threw it to the inside numbers to where the defender and the cornerback had a better opportunity to intercept it than the wide receiver to catch it.
Harvison pulls it out the belly of Valerie, tosses a little screen out to Williams. That picks up about 4 yards. Third down and about 6 coming up here for the Bears. Both of these teams kind of started off explosive in the first quarter, now kind of feeling each other out here as being the second, as they have both punted on their drives in the second quarter.
Andre Woodard with an outstanding open field tackle, and Murphy just cannot jump off sides or have any type of penalty that gives Robertsdale free yardage here on third, and we'll call it 6 yards to go.
Play clock under 10. The Bears have 1 timeout remaining. High snap, but they get it to Valerie. They were on the short side of the field near the far hash, and he had plenty of room on this side and took advantage of it with some great blocking as he gets inside the red zone once again for Robertsdale.
And you look where they went to their playmakers. Glenn Williams didn't come away with the reception, but Valerie, your other playmaker for the Golden Bears, he's already busted a long one tonight, and he almost has a second touchdown rushing there as Robertsdale's going to go tempo.
First and 10, ball on the 19 of Murphy. Harvison keeps it once again, throws a screen out to Glenn Williams, kind of stuck his foot in the ground, did a little spin move. Corey, I don't know what that is on the joystick, but he did it and picked up about 5 or 6.
Well, something you don't see too often. It's almost like a burpee that was done by Andre Woodard, if you're familiar with that exercise, to where he missed the initial tackle, popped back up and missed the second tackle. So, again, he tried to go ahead and make that tackle there the first time, but, again, Robertsdale with positive yardage.
Once again, on that far hash, they go back to Valerie. This time they keep it over there. He's gang tackled by the Panthers, loses 1. Third and about 7 coming up here for Robertsdale inside the red zone once again. They already had a drive to fail in the red zone in the end of the first quarter.
The Golden Bears, again, in my checklist, have to be golden in the red zone and produce 6 points instead of 3 anytime they have a scoring opportunity in this area.
They keep it on the ground once again. Valerie runs it. That's something Coach Kyle Stanford told me. He's a big believer in establishing the run and running the ball. It's going to be 4th and about maybe 4 coming up here. Or a long 3. I think maybe 4th and 4, Corey.
And it's a situation here, if you're Robertsdale, I say you go, because you want to show the confidence in your offensive line, who has already bust off a couple of big runs for you in regards to creating the holes for Valerie to hit. And here it is. If you're Murphy on homecoming, you get a lot of momentum here if you're able to come away with the stop.
Big jumbo package in. The line of gain is the 9. Direct snap to Glenn Williams. He follows behind the big uglies and takes it in for a 13-yard touchdown. Glenn Williams scores.
An athlete. You go to Valerie and Williams if you're the Robertsdale Golden Bears. And what an outstanding touchdown run by Glenn Williams. His first rushing touchdown. And more importantly, you convert on 4th down and 13. If your defensive coordinator, Michael Perry, you're furious that they were able to go ahead and convert on 4th down, but a great job by Robertsdale getting on the board.
And Butts PAT is up. It is good. We are notched up 13 apiece here. And there's a look at the run of Glenn Williams.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools. What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
We welcome you back to Lab People Stadium. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty on the sidelines, Kimberly Dunn. Robertsdale has tied it back up 13-13. If possible, if Charles, our buddy in the truck, can bring up that replay, we want to look at that beef making room for Glenn Williams once again after this kickoff. That was a great run, but it was great blocking, Corey. Great blocking. And once again, Robertsdale kicking away, not kicking deep. They kicked that one short. All right, here's the replay, Corey. Look at the beef in front.
60-94 as it's a great end zone camera. You had Glenn Williams with the spin move, but if you look at the nose tackle for the Robertsdale Golden Bears, Jonah Morris along with Ian Bailey, the right tackle, doing a tremendous job for Robertsdale, creating an opportunity for your playmaker to go ahead and get something going in space.
Absolutely. There's the recap. 6 plays, 47 yards, 2 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock as Glenn Williams punched it in. And as you said, Corey, that was on 4th down. That was a big play as the Bears went for it. But right now, Murphy sitting right at the midfield stripe. Great position. Play action under center. TK Barnett has nowhere to go but down as he takes a 4-yard loss on the sack from Robertsdale.
That's Trevor Pugh with his first sack of the season. The 6'6", 265-pound junior does a tremendous job of pressuring TK Barnett. And now you're looking at a 2nd down and 14 yards to go for the Murphy Panthers.
Coach McKenzie said TK Barnett, he's a special kid. He's familiar with a lot of the kids here in the area. He played park ball before moving to Nebraska with his mom. Also plays basketball for Murphy. And he said he's going to be a dominant player on the hardwood as well. We've seen him put on his demonstration with his legs. And right there, high snap. He can't control it. The snap from the center a bit high. Snap from Zykees James. But they fall on it, about a 2-yard loss there, Corey.
That's something we saw in the Panthers' opening drive, them having center quarterback exchange problems. And anytime you're in the shotgun, you know TK Barnett is only 5'10", but he's not able to field that cleanly, and he's lucky he was able to pounce on that for the Panthers. And now you're looking at a 3rd down and 16 yards to go for the Murphy Panthers.
Panthers break the huddle under 10 seconds. You can hear the coaches saying, let's go, let's go. I don't know if Coach McKenzie's going to have to burn a timeout. They get the snap off. All day for Barnett to throw it, and he finds Jalen Etney in Robertsdale territory. That's something Coach Stanford said. We can't let him beat us with our legs. We'll have to let him beat us with his arms, and he did it right there, picking up a big 1st down.
Coach Stanford said an explosive play is anything over 15 yards. They needed 17 for the 1st down. TK Barnett, with all the time in the world, finds his top target, Jalen Edney. Edney shows the versatility and the great hands. The 5'9", 161-pound junior was our Crichton Optimist Club Player of the Week. Comes away with a key 3rd down catch.
That was great blocking. Gave Barnett time to set up and throw. Direct snap. Little trickeration. They give it to Barnett. He's looking to throw. He's going to keep it, run past his offensive line. Comes back this way, Corey. He's working that joystick once again. I think he ran 20 yards to get 8, Corey.
Well, here's the thing, Al. He has highlighter-type shoes
on.
Yes,
he does.
He almost made a highlighter-type athleticism move that would have made SportsCenter if he's able to score that. As you mentioned, he bobbed and weaved and crossed the field, but he did gain positive yardage and did not turn over the football. Ultimately gets down, felt the pressure from behind, and 2nd and 2 now for the Panthers.
8 yards. They hand it off to Kentrell Wheeler. Look at him following behind the big guard play that Murphy's providing Christian Boyd as he pulled from his left guard position. That's a first down, and the Panthers in the red zone.
6'4", 325-pound senior leading the way for the Murphy Panthers, and they're in the red zone going tempo.
They fake it to Wheeler. Barnett's going to keep it. Gets past the 10 as he is brought down near the 6 or 7. They're going to spot it somewhere in between there. Take a look at the replay here.
Look how high the tacklers are going for Robertsdale. Christian Abrams, number 9, and Bolton is able to get him down up high, but not before positive yardage is gained, and it's going to bring 2nd down and 2 yards to go, and Murphy can still get a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Line to gain appears to be the 4. Ball sitting at the 7. And I believe Robertsdale has burned their last timeout. They want to discuss things with 1:17 remaining in the second quarter. As I said earlier, Corey, we had a very good explosive first quarter. He kind of hit a low, but after Murphy with this series right here, kind of making it interesting. It's going to be interesting at halftime. Kimberly Dunn's going to try to get a winner for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. It's homecoming night, so we'll see what you guys have in store for the participants. She'll climb into the stands, grab a spectator, and ask them a question. Try to get them hooked up with a Chick-fil-A prize pack. And, of course, with it being homecoming night, we will have to crown a homecoming queen, Corey. So stick around. We'll let you know who won.
And that's part of the excitement of homecoming.
It is.
You have your student body in a week's worth of festivities here on a short week, and as well as your former alumni coming out to support the Panthers. They want to see nothing more than Murphy to get their first win of the season.
2nd down coming up for the Panthers. As I said previously, line to get is the 4-yard line, and you told them, Corey, they can pick up the first down without having to score to get a fresh set if they need to. They fake it to Wheeler. Barnett's got a lot of room. Cuts inside the 5. Leaps forward. Should have enough for the first down. I think they're going to spot him at the 4, maybe the 3.
And you look at Ashton McCants coming up from his free safety position. 6'1", 195-pound junior. Makes his 20th tackle on the season, but not before the Panthers have 1st and goal to go.
A couple weeks ago, we had Murphy and Theodore, and Murphy missed out on an opportunity to score and then get the ball back in the second half. They're scheduled to receive the second half kickoff, so I know Coach John McKenzie would love to get the 2-for-1 right here if he can get points, and then he'll get the ball back in the second half. They hand it off to Wheeler. He turns the edge, slips in. That's a 4-yard touchdown run for Kentrell Wheeler.
Winston Salter III, the fullback, number 2, as we take a look at this replay, he was able to pave the way for an outstanding 4-yard touchdown run. You bounce to the outside, and you have the big beef pushing people around on front. Jalen Drakeford as well, your left tackle, does a tremendous job controlling the line of scrimmage. And like you said, a 2-for-1 opportunity to where you're able to score here before the half and then turn around and then get the football coming out in the third quarter.
Ira Cozy's PAT is good as Murphy extends the lead 20-13 over Robertsdale. 37 seconds remaining here in the first half. Corey, all the touchdowns have been scored on the ground. No passing touchdowns tonight.
I think that, when we start looking at the halftime stats in regards to rushing yardage, for both of these teams. It's going to be very impressive. But when you start talking about Robertsdale having played almost 900 football games, and then you start looking at the Murphy Panthers having played almost 1,000 games as a program or as a school, this is hard to imagine. This is the first ever
time
meeting between these two schools.
Isn't it? So the reclassification this year has really changed some things up. We're getting a lot of meetings for teams for the first time. They're familiar with each other, but the first time. There is the scoring drive right there. Kentrell Wheeler caps it off with a 4-yard run. They started directly on the 50. Took them 8 plays, and they burned 4 minutes off of the clock. So one thing about that drive, Corey, they used time, but they used time wisely and got points.
If I'm Robertsdale here, if I'm not able to return this for any positive yardage, I have no timeouts remaining. If I'm head coach Kyle Stanford, I just want to go ahead and take this into the locker room and regroup.
Ira Cozy tries to pooch it. Here comes the trickeration. They get it to Williams, and he is just smashed down at about the 20. I'm sorry, about the 25-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Robertsdale. 33 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. No timeouts, as you said, Corey, for Robertsdale remaining.
And I would just take one knee right here. Quickly take a knee, regroup
Don't
yourself.
even risk it.
Not even risk an opportunity for a turnover. It's no slight at your offense. It's just right now I know what I'm down and the deficit that I'm facing. And there's no need to have something silly happen right here before halftime, especially with Murphy getting the football to start the second half.
They hand it off to Valerie. He goes up. I'm sorry. That's Glenn Williams. He goes up the middle. There's the explosiveness of Glenn Williams as he pushes it into Murphy Panthers territory. It's going to stop the clock momentarily. Robertsdale can kill it and go to a second down if need be.
The explosive, look at him plant his foot in, go ahead, and the arm tackling up high by the Murphy Panthers. No timeouts with the clock running here, 15 seconds left to go in the half.
Little quick throw outside to stop the clock. Smart move by Harvison right there. So 2nd down and 10. Coach Stanford not sitting on it, Corey. He's not taking your advice. He's going to try to get him some points.
And
11 seconds remaining.
Looks like there is a penalty flag on the play as well. And that's going to be intentional grounding called against the Robertsdale quarterback.
Well, there was no receiver in the area. He threw the ball. They went past the line of scrimmage.
Inside the tackle box area.
But there was no receiver near there when he threw it away. I thought they would have just killed it and downed it, but they got him for grounding.
Well, again, you have the explosive play that could have led to 6, but the poor tackling by Murphy does give up the explosive run.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, that's a loss of down, so it's 2nd down.
Here's the replay. Nope. Now the receiver's just standing there. He never moved, but
here's a down.
1st and 15.
The clock is running as well.
Yeah, the clock's ready to play. Throws it to Williams. It's high. Incomplete. Ladd says we're at 0 seconds. Let's see if they put 1 or 2 seconds back on the clock as Malden comes to discuss it.
And that's something they are going to be discussing.
It looks
right
like, because
here.
I don't see any flags, I think they may put a second or 2 back on it because it was an incomplete pass.
1 second remaining. You look at Brian Jackson trying to go up high.
Yeah,
for
he's
the
asking
Panthers.
for it to put some time on the clock. Ladd hasn't adjusted that yet.
Almost like one untimed down here.
And that's what it appears to be, unless Coach McKenzie is going to call timeout to discuss some things. Ladd still hasn't put the time, but it looks like we're going to run one untimed down. Harvison passes, tries to go over the middle, and it's intercepted off the tip drill. Murphy hauls it in and running it back for the Panthers as flags come out. Andre Woodard, that will be his 2nd interception of the season. We know the half came in on a defensive penalty, Corey.
But, Al, that's, again, why I take that knee. Because, again, even if they would have had a chop block or a crackback block,
right,
you're risking a turnover there by an offense who has dominated on the ground, and by putting that ball in the air, going for the Hail Mary, that's something that you do risk. Now, it is going to be Murphy's football in regards to them receiving that interception, and it will be an interception credited to Woodard. It'll just be declined,
right?
And that's where we will go to half with that play and the interception by the Murphy Panthers before we end the half there.
All right, let's take it down to the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn has head coach John McKenzie.
Coach McKenzie, congratulations on being ahead so far in the competition. How do you feel about your team's performance?
Again, we're progressing in the right direction. We're taking baby steps every week. Still got a lot of things to fix, but it's going to take time. We new to the process of trying to fulfill the process, and it's hard enough to win if you're not doing everything you need to do.
So what adjustments need to be made in order to secure this win tonight?
Again, finish. I mean, you know, we always looking back from where we come to see where we need to go. We didn't finish last week. We was going into the fourth quarter 20-14, which is similar. Only thing we're going into the third quarter, but we just got to finish the fourth quarter. Normally we better in the second half because of our conditioning, but it didn't hold up for us last week.
Well, hopefully it will come out for you better this week, and y'all will come away with the win. We wish you the best of luck and look forward to seeing you in the second half.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Coach McKenzie hit it right on the head, Corey. They have to finish. They had 14 points last week against Gulf Shores, couldn't finish the job. But both of these teams had hit their average so far tonight.
Well, coming out of halftime, it'll be interesting to see if this Murphy offense sputters or where they go ahead and capitalize and take advantage of this Robertsdale defense, who is going to regroup at halftime, and that's going to be critical for Murphy. How do they respond coming out of the third quarter?
All right, halftime is headed your way. Homecoming festivities, the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, plus more. Murphy's on top 20-13 for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Mobile County Public Schools, the place that has it all. We have 90 schools that include rural, urban, and suburban schools of various sizes. We are also home to Alabama's first public school. We welcome you to come join our winning team. Our district is led by the 2020 Superintendent of the Year, Mr. Kressel D. Threadgill. Our teachers are leaders in their profession who are afforded numerous professional development opportunities. Our principals are collaborators and encouragers. Our schools are leading in innovation and instruction. And most importantly, our students who are learning today, leading tomorrow, are simply the best. If you want to live in a historically rich city near beautiful beaches with superb southern hospitality, we invite you to come teach with the best. Team MCPSS.
It is halftime at Lad People Stadium, and the homecoming festivities are beginning. We're going to check in with it later. Right now, let's take a look at the magnet schools of the Mobile County Public School System, emphasizing elementary magnet schools.
Did you know that Mobile County is home to an elementary international baccalaureate school? Welcome to Council Traditional School. Council Traditional School is one of a few schools in Alabama to offer IB's primary years program. Through this inquiry-led transdisciplinary framework, Council challenges students to think for themselves and to take responsibility for their learning as they explore local and global issues and opportunities in real-life context. Our students are immersed in Spanish from pre-K through 5th grade, and they have opportunities to participate in numerous extracurricular activities and clubs, some of which include Geography Club, Global Trouters Running Club, Chess Club, Math Team, Robotics Team, and Strings. Our students are also learning how to make our world a better place for giving back to community organizations such as Camp Rappahoe, the Ronald McDonald House, and more. Our students are achieving high academically, but we pride ourselves also on the fact that they are open-minded and caring. Come see why Counselor Traditional School scored a perfect 100 on Alabama's state report cards. Choose the challenge, choose excellence, choose counsel.
Have you heard our recent good news? Eisenberg School of Math, Science, and Technology just received the National Blue Ribbon Award from the United States Department of Education, which is given to the top public and private schools in our nation.
We already knew that we were providing a high-quality education for our students, but this national award affirmed the hard work that our students, our faculty, and our parents are putting in every day. It's the same hard work that earned us perfect 100 scores on the last 3 State of Alabama report cards. And it's the same grit that earned us Lighthouse status from the Blue Ribbon of Excellence School program. How do we do it? We provide the best and most highly trained teachers around.
And we believe in exposing our students to hands-on activities that make what they're learning in the classroom come alive. All of our students in grades kindergarten through 5 attend daily lab sessions for 45 minutes. That includes labs for general science, mathematics, and technology, as well as our outdoor classroom. At Action Minds, we pride ourselves on our diversity. Our students come from all over Mobile County and the world. There's students from 18 different countries and 5 continents represented here.
Come see for yourself why we were voted as the best public school in Mobile County.
Is your child interested in the visual arts, dance, music, or drama? If so, look no further than the Old Shell Road School of Creative and Performing Arts, which offers a specialized arts curriculum for the students in kindergarten through 5th grade. All of our students are exposed to the Arts Weekly. They have opportunities to participate in large and small performances, including full-length musicals that incorporate singing, dancing, and acting. We partner with the Mobile Symphony to offer strings instructions and the Preludes program. As an Alabama bicentennial school and Talents Unlimited national demonstration site, Old Shell Road offers an accelerated arts-infused curriculum. We received the National Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence Award from the U.S. Department of Education, which is the highest honor any public or private school can receive. We have implemented a 1-to-1 laptop program for all of our students in kindergarten through 5th grade. We offer clubs including archery, robotics, math team, and the National Elementary Honor Society, which is just some of them. We even have before-school and after-school programs. Our staff of dedicated, hard-working, and highly qualified teachers is looking forward to meeting you and your child during one of our open houses.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon, but we need your help to complete the project. Visit MCPSS.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Homecoming festivities still taking place here at halftime. Don't worry, we're going to let you know who the queen will be, who's going to be crowned the homecoming queen. Right now, we need to crown a champion for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Let's take it down to the field and check in with Kimberly Dunn. Having some difficulties with our camera. We'll take a break and come back with that Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Don't move.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
With our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, are y'all ready to answer tonight's question? I have a lot of volunteers. Are y'all ready? Okay, I want you to tell me your names and where you go to school.
Jace.
Where do you go to school?
Flint Tower. Jesse.
Where do you go to school?
Flo Tower.
Jada.
Where do you go to school?
Flint Tower Elementary. My name is Tara Sumter, and I go to Flint Tower Elementary School.
My name is Jay Sumter, and I go to Florence Howard Elementary School.
And now, I know you have a big brother on this team. Can y'all tell me what his name is? And he's number 19, is that right? So is that who y'all are cheering to win tonight? He's 15? Oh, my goodness. Are y'all ready to answer our Chick-fil-A question? All right. So we were talking about hurricanes, remember? So what letter in the alphabet is associated with the most Atlantic retired hurricane names, okay? So what letter in the alphabet? Is it A, the letter A, B, the letter E, C, the letter I, or D, the letter O? So A, E, I, or O. What letter do you think is the answer? You think letter A? What do y'all think? I. Okay, so the older siblings think I and the younger siblings say A. Oh, you changed it to I? Okay, well, the correct answer is, can y'all give me a drum roll? Is I. Look, Mama said he was a scholar and he got it right. So I. Can you tell me a hurricane right now that starts with the letter I?
Hurricane N.
There you go. All right, so y'all get our Chick-fil-A prize pack. There's some Chick-fil-A goodies and a really cool pin and a T-shirt. And so hopefully y'all are going to go get some Chick-fil-A. All right, y'all wave goodbye. Say bye.
We appreciate that. Let's take it down to the field, and there's a look at the homecoming queen who has been crowned here for the Murphy High School Homecoming 2022. Everyone's all excited. And, of course, all the dads looking great because they have on their suit and the ties. But there's your homecoming queen for Murphy High School 2022. Halftime festivities still going on here, and we have more headed your way. Keep it right here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
It was just like an extension of home.
Bishop give you that outlet to give you a career, a successful career.
We're doing some great things at Bishop State. Keep an eye on us.
Hello, I'm Katrina Frazier,
And I'm Deborah Robinson, and we would like to be your next realtors. As homeowners, we know how confusing it can be searching to find that perfect home that fits your needs and budget.
For that reason, it's important to have a reliable partner to represent you and to be there for every step of your home buying process. You'll find the services offered through Berkshire Hathaway, Home Services Cooper & Company Realtors are second to none.
So whether you are buying or selling your home, call us today and let our experience work for you.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We're going to take it down to the field and listen to the Murphy Panther Marching Band. interesting. There we go. Now I can hear myself. So I think it's official. We have wrapped up homecoming festivities here for the Murphy High School. We crowned the queen, listened to the band, but we've had an interesting first half. Let's take a look at the statistics, if we can get those up, Corey, from the first half, and big numbers put up by both teams.
When you start looking at the rushing yards, 184 and 156 to Robertsdale. Both teams have done an outstanding job getting past the initial line of scrimmage and get into the second level. Start looking at passing yardage, that's where your discrepancy comes into play. But when you have almost 400 yards of total offense combined,
right,
you can run the football and be successful. The 2 turnovers for Robertsdale, one of them led to 6 points. The other one on the opening kickoff, Murphy did not and was not able to capitalize.
Did not.
Not a lot of penalty flags because we've had a lot of rushing of the football, not a lot of holding calls, but 20-13 is our first half score.
And quite interesting, both of the turnovers occurred on plays that started and ended. The first turnover was a fumble on the first play. The last turnover was an interception on the last play of the first half. So some ironic things happening right there.
Without question, Al, but again, what adjustments do you make for both coaches? If you're Coach Stanford, what you have to do is value the football and find a way to get number 2 and number 6 continue to be involved for the Robertsdale Golden Bears, because again, when you start looking at the rushing yardage that has been obtained by Robertsdale,
right,
Murphy has had a hard time containing the Murphy Panthers, bouncing to the outside. So we'll see the adjustments that are going to be made here in the second half of action.
Speaking of seeing, let's take a look at some of the first half highlights from this ball game. A lot of scoring put up, all of the scoring put up by runs tonight, and Corey, we just talked about, there's that initial fumble that occurred on the first play of the ball game as Murphy hopped on it. As you said, they could not take advantage of it on the run right here, and this was the big 57-yarder from Aiden Valerie.
Aiden Valerie shows his speed and his burst. The 5'9", 170-pound junior makes the first house call of the game.
Sure did, and right there, T.K. Barnett, he decided to hand it off to Kentrell Wheeler, and look at Wheeler putting on the wheels and putting them into scoring position as Murphy would come back once again right there behind T.K. Barnett, had the big 31-yard run. Corey, he really showed his athleticism on that play.
And what you have to do is make sure that you wrap up. If you don't wrap up, there's going to be problems. And again, you look at the successful yardage here by Glenn Williams, having a lot of success here on the kickoff, gaining great possession for the Robertsdale Golden Bears.
All right, let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has Kyle Stanford, head coach for Robertsdale.
Coach Stanford, what was the atmosphere like in the locker room during halftime?
Kids were real positive. We've just made too many mistakes right now. We have too many negative plays on offense, and we're just allowing too many big plays on defense. But a lot of positives going in. We've had several stops, several big plays on offense. We just got to put it all together. We're getting behind the chains too much on offense and too many big plays, especially on third down on defense. We just got to get it together and come out in the second half and try to find a way to win.
Yeah. So what adjustments are you going to make in order to secure that win?
Offensively, we've got to get Glenn the ball more in the backfield in the second half, keep establishing a running game. Defensively, we're having a little communication issues, put in some Mayday calls. That way the kids don't get the call in and play faster.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach. I'll let you get with your team.
On the email,
and you can hear right there, Corey, he wants to get the ball to Glenn Williams some more.
Yeah, you have to find 2 and 6 if you're the Robertsdale Golden Bears. Again, you need to bear it all at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Part of what one of my keys were, as well as limited explosive plays by Murphy, which is 15 yards or more, and you have to make good on those golden red zone opportunities if you're Robertsdale.
Now, the cool thing about it, Murphy scored. They're going to get the ball back, so the 2-for-1 is going to work out to the advantage for John McKenzie and the Panthers as they score going into halftime.
And we talked about having great special teams play. Both teams have missed an extra point, and picking up the Panther paycheck, John McKenzie wants his guys to get able to cash in as far as from a winning standpoint and feel like they're getting paid to do their job throughout the week, which consists of hard practices for Coach McKenzie.
Back to receive for the Panthers. You have Kentrell Wheeler, Jalen Edney back there. And they have not kicked it deep one time. Robertsdale continues to kind of pooch it. Taken by one of the up men, Brandon Bendoff. as he gets it near the 40. So Murphy's going to get some great field position about the 42 or 43, I believe they're going to set up.
Great job of Robertsdale understanding not to keep to the speedster, Jalen Edney.
Correct.
Now here it is here. Will TK Barnett be able to find Edney in the flat, or will Wheeler continue to rush the football and make the Robertsdale secondary linebackers and corners continue to tackle after he has tremendous yardage past the line of scrimmage?
They spotted at the 43. Play action to Wheeler, going deep to Jalen Edney, and that's going to be a 57-yard pitch and catch. TK Barnett to Jalen Edney. Corey LeBounty, I need you to go to Mississippi and play your Lucky Lotto numbers this weekend. You called it, buddy. Barnett to Edney.
That's how you cash that paycheck, and you go ahead and you look at it from an offensive coordinator's standpoint. Cedric Smith saw the advantage of the speed of Jalen Edney, and all it took was a correct throw by TK Barnett. The time that the offensive lineman allowed him to stand in that pocket, Al, is outstanding. And again, you cash that paycheck with a tremendous throw, a great catch, 6 points on the board.
Ira Cozy's extra point, no good. We'll take a break and come back. We're just getting started. It's the second half. Murphy on top, 26-13.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
Coach John McKenzie taking advantage of the 2-for-1 scoring opportunity, Corey. Not only scoring it once, but scoring it twice. Ends the first half scoring, starts the second half scoring, taking advantage of the great field position that Robertsdale is giving them as they refuse to kick deep. So they decide to go deep. 57 yards, one play.
Your playmaker, he's your speedster on the field. You're not going to kick to him? Well, let me find another way to get a main weapon involved. When you have an athlete who is a return specialist as well as a wide receiver, TK Barnett, tremendous athleticism at the quarterback. One play, 57 yards, 11 seconds. And we asked him at the Optimist Club, award winner, what else does he do? And he says he's a track athlete also. So you see the speed by Jalen Edney taking place right there, Al.
As he put on the afterburners and took it to the house. So Coach McKenzie and his crew, they popped the Bears in the mouth right there. 26-13, the Bears down 13 points as they get their ball the first time here in the third quarter. They're trying to go to their playmaker and intercepted by Brandon Bendoff. That's the third turnover of the ball game for Robertsdale. And Bendoff looks like he's trying to take it. Corey, pull out your copay card. He's going to the house.
And it looks like we will have possibly a flag on the play, but nonetheless, it is a turnover that is going to lead to positive yardage for the Murphy Panthers. A 65-yard return on the interception. It's going to be brought back, probably still in the red zone area, because depending on where the flag came out, you'll take probably 10 yards away from that, but it'll still be outstanding field position.
Yeah, that flag's inside of the 10-yard line, so
low block on the offense.
It'll be coming back. It'll take the points off the board, but that is the third turnover of the night. One fumble and two interceptions by Robertsdale, and Murphy, they're trying to represent for homecoming tonight.
Brandon Bendoff, the free safety, 5'10", 175-pound junior. You look right here, just reads the quarterback's eyes, is able to stretch out, come away with it, keep his balance, run backwards, then gain his balance, and almost makes a house call if it wasn't for this low chop block here called almost at the end of the run. And again, tremendous opportunity for the Murphy Panthers at the 17-yard line of the Robertsdale Golden Bears.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Trip receivers to the top. Ben Jackson at the bottom by himself. TK Barnett by himself going to keep it. Gets it close to the 15-yard line. Gain of about 2 or 3. 2nd down for Murphy.
Connor Timms, the outside linebacker, with the stop, but how demoralizing can it be right here if Murphy is able to come out with back-to-back scores to start the second half of action, because Robertsdale is not built as an explosive offense, as they on offense are only averaging 10 points per game, have surpassed that tonight so far, but Murphy, we'll see what they're able to do here at the 15-yard line of Robertsdale.
Jackson goes into motion to the top side. Kentrell Wheeler going to take the carry, turns the corner. Looks like he has enough to pick up that 1st down. We'll see where they spot him at, Corey. Kyle Stanford, the coach for Robertsdale, said they got to get the ball to Glenn Williams. They tried to do that, but the big interception by Brandon Bendoff ended all those dreams right there for Robertsdale.
You have to credit them for trying to go to their playmaker in that situation, just a better defensive play as a defensive back. But here it is now, 3rd and 1. Murphy can still, again, pick up this 1st down and be inside the 10-yard line now. You've seen TK Barnett have a rushing touchdown. We'll see if the offensive line here can dominate the line of scrimmage.
They give it to Wheeler. And he plows forward past the 5, but a flag comes in. Thrown by the back judge. And a face mask going to be called against Robertsdale.
Well, that's one of those situations.
It's still a face mask on the defense. After this to the goal. Results of the penalties are 1st down.
Where you're Robertsdale, you don't want to give away any free yardage. No. We've seen them only have a couple of penalties in the 1st half, but this one is costly, and the results could be a touchdown here deep in the territory of the Golden Bears. Now, the biggest thing that can happen for Murphy here, we'll see if they go shotgun or under center.
So they're going with the gun. And they go with Kentrell Wheeler, and that's a 2-yard score for Kentrell Wheeler. Picks up a touchdown. That's his 2nd one of the night.
Jalen Drake for Christian Boyd. Center Zykees James starting to take over the line of scrimmage, and on that left side of the offensive line, an outstanding push and out. Robertsdale is really now, the Golden Bears really have to find an answer here on their next offensive possession upcoming.
Kick from Ira Cozy is good, and Murphy extends the lead 33-13. We're going to stay right here. Take a look at a player comparison tonight. Corey, we set this up as a quarterback versus an athlete comparison, but it hasn't been too much passing. We did see the 57-yard pass that TK Barnett put up with that pass brought in from Jalen Elliott. They've only thrown it 4 times. No surprise, they've run it more. But as you see right there, Glenn Williams definitely needs to have the ball touched more. They need to get the ball more to him, as they just tried, but it failed for Robertsdale.
And if you're Murphy right here, don't give Robertsdale any opportunity to gain momentum by kicking it to Glenn Williams.
Right.
You want to make sure that you don't kick it out of bounds and that you keep it in play as well. But I'll tell you, Williams is a tremendous dual sport athlete at Robertsdale, and I know he plays basketball also for Marshall Davis Jr., and he's a tremendous athlete. That's why you definitely want to keep the football away from him here.
Ira Cozy kind of pooches it once again. Taken by Valerie. He comes up past the 30. Has some momentum past the midfield stripe. Aiden Valerie trying to take it to the house. One got a beat, In on the tackle once again, Jalen Edney with a touchdown-saving tackle along with Kentrell Wheeler.
And there's a flag right around the 47-yard line that's probably going to bring this tremendous return back. The two playmakers for Robertsdale, of course, Aiden Valerie along with Glenn Williams, but it's going to come back because you do have probably a block in the back.
A block in the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty from spot to foul. Be first down.
So that's going to bring it back. As you can see, the explosive capability of Aiden Valerie. We've seen him busted open a couple times tonight, but unfortunately, Robertsdale shooting themselves in the foot. Coach Kyle Stanford, besides himself, out near the 40-yard line, barking at the officials or anyone who will listen right now, Corey.
I would too, because you want your team to know that you're fighting for them. And again, that's just tremendous effort, but the officials saw something different, which will again negate a tremendous return by Robertsdale and put them at 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And if you're this offense, you have to string up a series of first downs that keeps your defense off of the field.
Hand off to Glenn Williams as he hurdles one of the Panthers, picks up a first down. One Panther slow to get up, but he hops on up there. So first down for Robertsdale.
If Nicholas Boudreau picks up that block down the field, then I guarantee Glenn Williams scores 6. So that's one of the things that you have to keep an eye on and highlight when you look at the film the next day. What could we have done just a little bit different to make those small differences that wind up being large on the scoreboard?
1st and 10, ball sitting directly in front of us on the 50-yard line. Back to Williams once again as he weaves his way past the 40, near the 35, into Panther territory. Glenn Williams starting to put on a show, Corey.
And he is our playmaker. He's our impact player. Brian Jackson with the stop, but you look at the shiftiness and the athleticism of the young star Glenn Williams for the Robertsdale Golden Bears, and he's definitely an athlete that should play football and or basketball at the next level.
Ball sitting on the 36-yard line of the Panthers. Play action, they pull it out to gut. Harvison tries to get some room but does not. He's going to be stopped for a loss of about 2. We'll call it 2nd and 12 coming up here for Robertsdale as they're trying to get some type of semblance together. Punched in the mouth, back-to-back scores by Murphy they have put up since halftime. It's homecoming, and the Panthers definitely want to win it, and they are showing it here in the second half on top 33-13.
Well, if you're Robertsdale, again, this is a critical drive for your offense in this situation because you want your defense to get as much rest as possible.
Right. Harvison back to pass. Pressure's coming. He's going deep. Got a guy wide open. Touchdown to Braden Davis. Henry Harvison delivers a 37-yard strike, and Robertsdale scores.
Braden Davis, the 6'1", 190-pound senior, has his first receiving touchdown of the season, and none more important than that huge reception there for a touchdown, and that's exactly what the offense and head coach Kyle Stanford really needed from the offense. And again, your defense will have to take the field again now, but huge answer by the Golden Bears.
Extra point is good. Corey, I guess we talked it up. We talked about all the running for touchdowns in the first half, and we've had 2 passing throws here in the third quarter. Murphy on top, 33-20. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician-gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goal.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit MCPSS.com.
Coming up, we'll give you the Brain Buster question of the week. Stick around. We're going to reveal that question and See if Corey LeBounty can give us correct answer. It'll be headed your way here inside of the third quarter. The game of the week, Brain Buster. Robertsdale scores, Corey. You are correct. They needed to get some points right there to kind of get themselves mentally back into this ball game.
And again, when you start talking about this return game, you don't want to give up a big return. You want to have some type of stop here. What will be tremendous by the defensive coordinator / head coach, Kyle Stanford. He, along with Marshall Ballard, are the two co-defensive coordinators. On game day, Kyle Stanford calls the defense.
Right.
And throughout the week, Marshall Ballard prepares them. But that scoring drive, 4 plays, 63 yards, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That is the best 2 minutes and 15 seconds that the Robertsdale defense could ask for.
You're right about that. They needed a break because Murphy had came out clicking on all cylinders in the second half. Taking possession right now at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Kentrell Wheeler in the backfield with T.K. Barnett. They fake the run, going back in the air once again, wide open, Jalen Edney, and he brings it in. It's a touchdown. Edney scores again. 62 yards, yeah.
Well, Al.
Wow.
How do you go ahead and top your first touchdown by a bobbling second touchdown? You just see the tremendous speed of Jalen Edney, and we see why he's an impact player that I listed at the top of the broadcast. And again, this young man has a star on his helmet.
There it is.
And that is the Crichton Optimist Club Special Teams Player of the Week star helmet that he has. Huge play for Murphy, answering the score of Robertsdale off of one play. You went back to the exact same play because they were in the exact same coverage, and you take advantage of it.
It's unreal. Murphy up by 20. You're watching a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
We welcome you back to legendary Lad People Stadium, having a great ball game tonight. Murphy on top by 20 right now. Corey, if the fans could have heard the moans and the cheers of our statistician Matt Moore saying he's wide open. Edney hauls in another one as Murphy is just turning on the Jets tonight here in the second half. They are really trying to send a message on homecoming night.
Well, you want to go ahead and send that message that, again, Coach McKenzie said, you guys have worked for your paycheck, and your paycheck is going to come and not be delayed if you do the things that we've worked so hard for within the first 6 weeks. And again, remember, Coach McKenzie takes over this job in July.
Correct.
So he only has less than a month with his players before he takes over. And he talked about it with Kimberly Dunn at halftime, the progress and the steps that have been made in the right direction. You can see that's where the Panthers are heading here tonight.
Panthers trying not to lose 6 in a row, maybe try to go on a streak of winning if they can. That play stopped right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up for Robertsdale. Corey, that's the second series in a row. I turned my flip chart one time, and I got to flip it back again to Robertsdale. Murphy scoring so quick.
And here is the critical part again for Robertsdale. We've had back-to-back scores. Can we make it 3 consecutive? If you're Robertsdale, you go to your playmakers continuously. Glenn Williams and Aiden Valerie get a steady dose, and Malachi Howard has paved the way in order for his quarterback to have protection and make those great throws. One of the critical offensive linemen and the senior captain here for the Murphy Panthers.
The big right guard for the Panthers. 3rd down and about 6 coming up here for Robertsdale. And I believe someone jumped. I think Paramore, number 29, the tight end, got a little happy, so that's a false start.
Main's 3rd down.
That'll wipe out 5 of the yards of that 6-yard gain that Glenn Williams picked up on the previous reception.
Well, what you don't want to see if you're Robertsdale is to get behind early, down in distance, and even though now you're looking at 3rd and 11, 3rd and 6 is much more manageable because it's definitely a passing situation for Robertsdale.
Harvison looking to his right, and he does complete it. Gets it out to Nick Boudreau, but he is going to be way short of the 1st down. Ball's at the 20-yard line.
The 3rd reception of the season for Nick Boudreau, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, but not enough. Now you go ahead and you look minus that penalty, you're right at the sticks.
Correct.
To where you're thinking about going for it, but now Robertsdale forced to punt here on 4th and 5.
McDaniel on for his 2nd punt of the evening. Etney setting up at his own 45-yard line.
TK Barnett as well.
And that punt may make it to the 45. And Barnett picks it up. Robertsdale thought he was going to down it. He picked it up at the 45, and he is still rolling and taking it to the house. There's a Murphy Panther down, and there's a flag on the play around about the 20. We'll see if the score will stand. Looks like Brandon Bendoff down on the far side, Corey.
Even if it doesn't, I want you to see this block by Benjamin Jackson, number 15, for the Murphy Panthers on the return. Absolutely pancakes the Robertsdale Golden Bear. And we'll see if it's all for night, which will be the 2nd touchdown callback of the evening.
Bendoff getting some assistance as he comes off the
field.
Unsportsmanlike
on defense.
So they're calling it against Robertsdale, so the points are going to stay on the board.
What a return.
55-yard return by TK Barnett. And he kind of basically, Corey, he basically possumed and suckered him in. He hadn't downed the ball. Robertsdale hadn't downed the ball. He just scooped it up and took off.
What you'll see is Robertsdale relax and kind of look at it instead of go ahead and touching it and making it a dead ball. They elected to let it roll until at the last moment it was scooped up, and you have a scoop and score. But as we look at the replay after this extra point, you will see that block from Benjamin Jackson, number 15. But again, an injured Murphy Panther being tended to right at midfield.
Brandon Bendoff, they had to get some assistance from some of the other coaches. All right, here we go from the end zone, Cam. And pay close attention to Barnett as he's just standing right there.
Touch it. If you're
right
there,
you got to touch the ball. And he scoops it up, kind of plays possum, and takes off.
And look at this block right here coming into your television screen. Number 15, Blue, and he just absolutely paves the way. If we have another shot from the initial shot to show that again from a high angle, you'll be able to see, again, that pancake and block, the extra point pending, but another explosive play by the Murphy Panthers here on special teams this time.
They are showing up on all phases of the ball game tonight. Ira Cozy's kick is up and good, and Murphy extends their lead 47-20. Let's take a look at it from another angle. We'll see that block.
You see the first block by Woodard. He's on top, and then again, if you're Robertsdale, touch the ball. Go ahead and down it right there. Don't sit and wait on it. That's a special teams blunder that you can't have. But look at 15 out in front right here, folks. Absolutely pancakes. The kicker sits on top of him, and there it is. He has his convoy from Jalen Edney. 6 more for the Panthers.
55-yard punt return, TK Barnett, as he takes over right there, extends the lead 47-20. Murphy all over Robertsdale Hill. Homecoming night. That's how you show up for it.
And here's the thing on the kickoff, Al. If they kick to Aiden Bowery, he's a basketball player as well, dual sport athlete for Marshall Davis. Both of them can go ahead and be tremendous returners. Glenn Williams as well as Aiden Bowery.
Right.
They're going ahead and assessing the unsportsmanlike on the kickoff here. That's why you're seeing the ball spotted by the officials. They're making sure that they go ahead and mark off that yardage. And here you may see a touchback here for one of the first times.
Or you could possibly see some trickeration. I would not be surprised if John McKenzie did a little something right here. The ball's being placed on the 45-yard line of Robertsdale after that unsportsmanlike penalty was assessed. So we'll see if Ira Cozy's going to punch it all the way through, Corey, or Murphy's going to try a little trickeration and try to get some more points here and steal a possession.
Punch it, Al. I punch it right here. I'm not giving them a chance to return anything.
And Ira Cozy puts it. Smart of Robertsdale just let it go into the end zone. Take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls. In the 5A poll, UMS Wright, not the unanimous pick anymore, but they're still number 1 atop the poll. Gulf Shores remains at 7. Viger moves up 1 spot to 8, even though they were at 9. Outside the top 10, Faith Academy picks up 3 votes, and Williamson picks up 2. Let's try to slide the 6A poll in right quick. There's a new number 1 team, Saraland. The Spartans sit atop the poll. They're 2 spots behind them. Theodore sitting at 3. They're setting up a collision course October 21st to meet up. Outside the top 10, McGill picks up 3 votes. 1st to 10 for Robertsdale. Ball at the 20. How did they recover after giving up that punt return? Let's see. Harvison goes down as he is sacked by Zackees James.
And Zackees James is your center, and now he's also your defensive tackle, playing both sides of the football, showing his versatility and his contribution to this Panther team. And one of the things Coach McKenzie hangs his hat on is the conditioning of his football team. And anybody who's able to play both ways, it's easy when you're the nose guard as well as center to be able to read the offense and how the formations are.
2nd down and 22. Ball's at the 8-yard line. Harvison gets rid of it into the hand of Glenn Williams. Williams trying to do a little juke move, steps out of bounds at about the 32 or 33. And Corey, that's a 1st down for Robertsdale.
2nd down and 22. You get it in space to your playmaker, Glenn Williams, and it really does have to be the 2 and 6 show for the remainder of this contest for the Robertsdale Golden Bears. Find a way to get either one of these guys in space, whether it's the offensive line creating that space to get to the 2nd level or whether it's quick passes to your playmakers.
Bowery fumbles it after he gets the handoff from Harvison. Smartly falls down to prevent the fumble. 2nd down here coming up for Robertsdale. That's about a 3-yard loss for the Bears. Harvison comes back from the sideline after getting the call. Places his mouthpiece back into his mouth. That's important to have that. Trip receivers to the top. Play action as they set up the screen for Williams. He's out there by himself. And he picks up the 1st down as Robertsdale is close to the 45 now.
I would continue to do that. Find a way, whether it's a one-stop drop and a quick pass into the flat or him coming in some type of jet sweep motion. Find a way to get your playmakers the football, and every now and then sprinkle it in to your tight end or your other wide receiver in Boudreaux. But you have to have your best players with the football if you're Robertsdale.
1st down for the Bears. Aiden Valerie. Nice run from him, about 7 or 8. Most importantly, Corey, he steps out of bounds. That stops the clock for the Bears.
It does. And again, Al, when you're putting a series of 1st downs together, what you're allowing your defense to do is rest. Even though Murphy has been explosive, 1 play on special teams, 1 bomb play that only took 11 seconds, you're still allowing your defense to go ahead and gain their composure and hopefully offensively cut into this 27-point deficit.
2nd down and 2. Deuces a while. Let's give it to Glenn Williams. And he's tackled for a loss right at the 50-yard line. Al Weed and Corley Bounty on the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn, you're watching a special edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We appreciate you joining us tonight as both of these teams are winless, looking for a win, Corey.
One team looking to cash the paycheck, as Coach McKenzie said. Coach Stanford from Robertsdale saying his team has prepared well and gotten better as the season has progressed.
They give it to Valerie. He cuts back toward the middle just outside the numbers, and he's got enough for the first down. That'll move the sticks.
And that's what you, again, need to see. I like the versatility of these backs for Robertsdale, 2 and 6. When they plant that foot into the turf and go ahead and put it in drive, Al, they have a great change of direction and explosiveness going north and south.
Trip receivers to the top. Harvison almost sacked by Demetrius Davis, but he's got a lot of room. Picks up the first down and still going. Did not go out of bounds. Murphy thought he stepped out, but he kept twinkle toes on the sidelines.
Now, one of the things is what we call the kill shot in football was missed by the defensive end for the Murphy Panthers, Demetrius Davis. But if you're Murphy, you can't air tackle. Don't get caught looking at the scoreboard. Go ahead and be fundamentally sound. Break down and make that tackle.
Golden Bears inside of the red zone, ball at the 15. They give it to Valerie, and he is met head on at the line. 2-yard gain by Aiden Valerie. 2nd and 8 coming up here for Robertsdale.
Nice drive here for Robertsdale. Close to 3.5 to 4 minutes of possession here coming up as they're able to go ahead and put together some 5 first downs, I do believe, on this one drive, which is their best drive of the night.
Down 27 points. They give up 41 on defense, so they've hit their average on both accounts tonight. Williams steps into the backfield, weaves his way near the 10-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5 coming up here for Robertsdale.
You look at the foot action of Glenn Williams, to where if you don't meet him in the hole, anytime he'll undress you in open space.
Correct.
With his footwork. And this is a young man that has tremendous bursts and one of the best athletes in the entire school at Robertsdale High School, showing you he and 6 both, Aiden Valerie. It's a no-brainer, Al. Continue to go to him.
Line to gain is the 5. Williams is hit, fumble. It almost went back to Harvison, but it looks like Murphy has jumped on top of it. I believe it's going to be recovered by Desmond Mitchell, number 16. And if so, that will be the 4th turnover of the night, and Williams hurt.
He's
getting up slowly.
He's disheartened, but I do believe the helmet was put directly on the football. That's why you saw it shoot back like a center snapping the football, and that's exactly what you saw as we go to Kim. Look at the replay afterwards, Al, after we go to Kim.
What's going on, Kimberly?
Able to get an injury update for the Murphy Panthers. Number 5, thankfully he was only suffering from a cramp. He's still on the sidelines trying to walk that off. It's still lingering a little bit, but he said he's ready to get back in the game and continue to help his team secure this win tonight.
Thank you, Kim. We do appreciate that. Brandon Bendoff, glad to hear that news. It was just a cramp, nothing serious. 1st and 10 coming up. Murphy. They've switched quarterbacks as they put in the backup. James Holbrook taking that snap. Maybe about a 1 or 2 yard gain for the Panthers.
See if we can get this replay of the turnover. I do believe the face mask was put directly on the snout of the football. You see Glenn Williams have it, and again, it just goes ricocheting back on a nice tackle in the hole, and Murphy was able to pounce on it. But TK Barnett at wide receiver here is a threat also.
Murphy hands it off. Running up the middle for the Panthers, Chase Rogers. He gets the first down as he gets near the 35-yard line, and that is the last play of the 3rd quarter with Murphy on top, 47-20 on homecoming night. So since we have a break right here between the quarters, we'll put up our Game of the Week Brain Buster. All right, Corey, name the last Murphy coach to win 5 games in a row. That's our Game of the Week brain buster. Name the last Murphy coach to win 5 games in a row. Is it Terry Curtis, Ron Lee, Larry Henderson, or Rick Carley? So think about that. We'll come back and see what your answer is going to be, Corey. And you know what? We're rocking multiple choice the rest of the year.
I love the multiple.
I know you do. I know you do.
25% chance of getting it right versus yay or nay. So I appreciate the multiple chance opportunities. And if you're at home watching or streaming along here,
do not text Corey LeBounty and give him the answer.
Feel free to go ahead and tag team in, because I have a pretty good answer. I think I've narrowed it down.
Got a pretty good idea?
50-50, right, as to what I think it is.
Heading toward the fourth quarter, 12 minutes remaining here. Homecoming night. Murphy all on top, 47-20. When we went to halftime, Corey, we were sitting at, I believe, 20-13. And things have just blown up since the third quarter.
It's been an offensive explosion.
It sure has.
What you start to do is when you see Murphy looking at the scoreboard, they are not passing the type of licks besides that one that resulted in the turnover in the open field. And Robertsdale's just getting tired, and you're seeing them with a lot of arm tackle. But here it is. You keep an eye on James Holbrook looking for his former quarterback, TK Barnett, here. And we'll see if they're able to go ahead and keep it on the ground and take care of the football here, or whether they decide to throw it.
False start against Murphy as captain of the Panthers, Malachi Howard, looks down the line and said, come on, bro, what you doing? Pushes him back 5 yards and put it at the 30-yard line. 1st and 15 coming up here for the Panthers. Hand off to Rogers. James Holbrook comes into the ball game. He has 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's the 38% passer on the season. Rogers picks up a couple. It's 2nd down for Murphy.
Chase Rogers with his 6th rushing attempt on the season. He got the last rush right before we started the fourth quarter of action, but it's able to give Kentrell Wheeler a nice little breather, and you're able to get some guys some valuable reps moving forward.
Back to Rogers, tripped up as he was trying to plant the foot and make a move. They'll credit him with about a 1-yard gain, so 3rd and 11 here coming up for the Panthers. And speaking of getting a rest, Corey, TK Barnett as well, getting him a much-deserved rest as well, as he is not on the field. Play clock under 10 seconds. He set up the screen for Rogers. He has a couple of the big fellas in front of him as he goes past the 50 into Robertsdale territory, marked down at about the 44-yard line. And some late flags coming in, a little extracurricular. So we'll let the officials have time to sort it out. We can talk about third quarter stats, Corey.
Well, you're talking about 380 total yards of offense by Murphy, 343 by Robertsdale. With the yardage situation, you would think it's almost even, the rushing yards and the passing yardage, but the penalty situation close to being even as well. But the turnovers.
4 turnovers
is
tonight.
The difference with the special teams explosion. And this play right here, offsetting, I do believe, unsportsmanlike, but it was post-possession, and that's one of the things that the officials are going to be talking about after the play, to where do we go ahead and just mark it as a first down, and we'll go ahead and hear from our official now.
After the play, we got personal foul on blue. After the play, we got personal foul on white. Those penalties offset. End of the run is a first down.
Yeah, Corey, I saw about 4 flags come out. So as they discuss it, it's all for naught. So first down, ball at the 44-yard line for Murphy.
Well, you do see on the sidelines TK Barnett along with Jalen Edney both right around the 37-yard line talking to one another. So it's great to see these backups get an opportunity to get valuable reps as Murphy is continuing to be and bounce outside, Al.
And keeping it on the ground with Chase Rogers. He reversed his field as he is near the first down marker. And a flag on the play here close to the Murphy sideline, and Coach McKenzie is highly upset at his quarterback right now, talking to him.
We got an illegal shift going 5 yards from the previous side, and still be first down.
I thought I saw some movement before the ball was snapped. It looked like David Green may have moved a little early or something, Corey. But that's going to penalize the Panthers, placing them back to the 49-yard line.
Well, when you do have an opportunity to get into the game, it's your opportunity to make your mark.
Correct.
And to show why that you have an opportunity to go ahead and be a first stringer or make yourself more valuable to your team by what you're able to put on film. And by going backwards, that situation now 1st and long for the Panthers.
Once again, play clock under 10. Murphy gets the snap off, but we have another flag, and Coach McKenzie is super irate as he steps onto the field. False start against the Panthers.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's 10 yards right there, Corey.
When you do put backups in the game, you don't want to see a diminished effort in regards to execution. And Murphy's not going to take a timeout to call a timeout unless the play clock gets down to below 7. But I love the fact that Coach McKenzie is encouraging his backup offensive lineman to do his job.
And off to Rogers once again. Nice blocking by that line as Rogers gets back to the original line of scrimmage plus a little more. I think they're going to spot him at the 44-yard, the 46 of Robertsdale. But that was ball over on down, so that was 4th down for the Panthers. As Coach McKenzie is going to stick with the backups right there. Well, let's see what he does on defense, Corey. We'll see if any new numbers and new names come out.
Robert Hendricks, the cornerback for Robertsdale, makes a first down saving type tackle, because on 4th down, if he doesn't make that stop from his corner position, Murphy's definitely going to gain another fresh set of downs.
TK Barnett heads back to his cornerback position. So it's 1st and 10 on the 41 for Robertsdale as they go with the hitch and go, and almost picked off by TK Barnett as he ran into his teammate, and he's a bit shook up as he is still down on the field.
He's going to have the air knocked out of him as he ran into Kenny Riggins right there, his own teammate.
Correct.
And if Riggins does not hit TK, then it is a true interception, but he's down on the field right now. And as you look at the replay, Al, it's a nice pump fake, and the ball was thrown right where he didn't see TK coming and creeping, and I think he's going to have the air knocked out of him.
All right, we got a break right here while they're taking a look at TK Barnett. Let's put up our Game of the Week Brain Buster question and reveal the answer, Corey. So name the last Murphy coach to win 5 games in a row.
Well, I'm going to go with B or D, but Ron Lee, I think really, I think that's going to be my answer.
I think it's Ron Lee. We'll get Miss Diane to hit the button and reveal the answer. And Corey LeBounty, it is the question again. Rick Carley, back in 2014, they won 5 in a row. MGM, Viger, Theodore, Daphne, and Davidson. And Corey, here's your +1. If you remember back in 2014, that was the first year the Alabama High School Athletic Association moved to 7 classifications as Murphy moved up to 7A football.
And Rick Carley still coaching for the Davidson Warriors.
Sure is.
So I know that Ron Lee's still coaching for St. Luke.
That's a good guess, Corey.
When you start talking about B or D, both of them were instrumental in the most recent success of the Murphy Panthers program.
Correct.
Larry Henderson, again, being the former principal of the school, as well as winning a state championship for the Murphy Panthers, and we all know about the legendary career of Terry Curtis. Never winning a state championship, but bringing a lot of pride and wins to the school.
And if he wins out, he'll become the state winning leader here if he wins out regular season with Terry Curtis over UMS Wright. So we shall see how the season unfolds. Right now it unfolds for Robertsdale. Big game right there by Aiden Valerie as they get near the 30-yard line of Murphy.
8 state championships for Terry Curtis. And you mentioned when you do have some opportunities for Robertsdale to take advantage of the substitutions that are being made with 4:30 almost remaining here in the fourth quarter of action. Robertsdale wants to hit that golden zone, which equates to 6 points.
Harrison back to throw, trying to connect with his receiver, Braden Davis. Davis caught one earlier tonight. Pass incomplete. Going to be second down coming up for the Bears. Next week, we're going out to the Hornets' Nest. It'll be the Battle of West Mobile as the MGM Vikings and Baker Hornets go head-to-head in a 7A Region 1 context. And, Corey, that one's going to have some playoff implications around it.
Well, when you start talking about big boy football in 7A, Zach Golson's done a tremendous job of becoming and creating a culture to where almost finally got them to the mountaintop of their first win a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
They have a huge game coming up, and we'll see exactly where he's able to lead this program.
Well, you and I have talked about it with the reclassification of 7A. This could be the year that we could possibly see a return of Bryan or maybe MGM, possibly to the playoffs, depending on how things play out. Big ball game tomorrow with Baker and Bryant as well. So we shall see with that now being a 7-team region. Harvison going deep again, trying to connect with Davis. Pass incomplete. That's going to take Robertsdale to fourth down.
Well, 3:09 left in the contest, and Robertsdale has to find a way to go ahead and convert here on this offensive drive, because if they don't convert, Al, here on fourth down upcoming, you're in a situation to where Murphy is just going to run the clock out.
Pretty much. Taking a look down at the sideline, TK Barnett under the tent. They are still tending to him. Fourth down, Robertsdale going for it here. Ball at the 35-yard line. 4th and 10. They've yet to connect. Play action as they get it to the big tight end, Brandon Paramore. He's going to be close to picking up the first down. Sorry, Brennan Paramore. Let's see where they mark it at.
And you look at fourth down, you get it to your playmaker on a play action to your playmaker, and you see somebody make one of their first catches of the contest as Paramore has his 6th reception. It's just going to be a little bit short.
A little short, not enough. Ball over on downs. And Murphy's going to come and take over with less than 150 less in the contest. We'll be putting up our Career Tech Education Player of the Ball game here momentarily. As you're right, Corey, all Murphy has to do is just pretty much just run it, sit on it, and let this thing run out. As they're going to win on homecoming night. I know that's huge, especially for the seniors.
And Al, when you start having an opportunity to win your first game on homecoming, it really means a lot.
It does.
Because, again, Coach McKenzie taking this job when he did in July and having to wait this long to taste victory, it's going to be even sweeter being the fact that it is for homecoming.
Clock still running, less than 1 minute here. After change of possession here coming up, Robertsdale going to come back out on the field. Bring it out, Henry Harvison. Clock continues to run. Murphy trying to get Zykees James off the field so they're not flagged with 12 men on the field. Glenn Williams with the carry. He's just going to go out of bounds with 8 seconds remaining, as Ladd still has the game clock running.
Well, Al, what's pretty interesting is when we start looking at our players at the game, they were definitely impact players. And notice it's plural. It is with an S. Plural players for the Murphy Panthers getting it done tonight.
And they get it done. Murphy wins 47-20 on homecoming night. Quite a very, very good win for the Panthers and their first win of the season, Corey.
Coach McKenzie has been preaching about cashing that paycheck. The bank is open after hours for Murphy tonight as they're able to cash in and get that W on the scoreboard. Huge for that program.
Absolutely huge. We talked about it early in the ball game as we went into halftime. All of the touchdowns had been run or basically scored on the ground, and then the third quarter happened and we had an explosion and an aerial attack took place.
It looked like we were going to have a tremendous amount of rushing yardage to be on our cumulative total, and then all of a sudden the mismatch, the coaching staff for Murphy and the offensive staff saw a mismatch with Edney and they decided to go aerial. TK Barnett was able to display that arm, hit him a couple of times in stride, and because of it, the Murphy Panthers were able to separate and pull away in the second half of action.
Yep, let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with winning head coach John McKenzie.
Coach McKenzie, congratulations on the win tonight, and not just any win, a region win on homecoming night. What does this mean to you and your team?
It's big. I mean, it's a big win.
Do you feel like this game is going to help prepare y'all for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, where we trying to go, you know, we got in late, trying to do different things. Kids ain't never done the things that we do before. And to put in the work and not see the results now, you know, we'll work a little harder next week and try to get ready again.
Do you feel like this is momentum that your team is going to be able to continue to use for the rest of the season?
Well, it's a good feeling, and they just need to remember it and know what we paid the price to get it. And it's just the beginning. I think we still progressing. I mean, we beat a team we were supposed to beat. Yeah. And some of them teams we played, we wasn't supposed to beat them at this moment, but I mean, my 9th and 10th graders and 11th graders, they understand what we're trying to do.
Well, congratulations on the win, Coach. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Mom.
Coach McKenzie shouting out to Mom, and nothing wrong with that, Corey, because a much well-earned win tonight.
And again, the Murphy Panthers finding a way to put everything together. 4 quarters of football totally done by the Murphy Panthers as they were smacked in the mouth early in the first quarter. They responded very well. You look at the final stats of the game, had more rushing yards, again, had a couple of more passing yards, 390 total yards, no turnovers. They're able to clean up the penalty situation.
No turnovers.
And that is the difference in the contest, that in special teams, and being able to ultimately cash that paycheck for homecoming.
And that's how you can have dual Career Tech Education players of the game with TK Barnett and Jalen Edney. Boy, we had a good time tonight. Murphy gets the win, 47-20. Next week, it's the Battle of West Mobile. We're moving to Friday night as MGM comes to take on Baker. Plus, our statisticians, China Powell and Matt Moore, they're going to have the Battle of the Middle Schools next Thursday with Pillins and Scarborough. So we're going to have a lot of smack to talk next Friday night, Corey.
No, I'm looking forward to that, and it's going to be a great time for them on the sideline. Smack Talk will give you the winners next Friday night.
We sure will. Thanks for joining us, Corley Bounty. Kimberly Dunn, I'm Al Wheaton. Have yourself a great weekend.